For most people, getting high is a nice 2 or 3 hour experience. You can obviously stretch that out a little bit longer if you're trying to smoke a little more, get a little higher. I usually get high for about 5 hours on my Twitch stream every night, which the sesh starts at 9. You can join me 9 p.m. Eastern. Come get high with me. But for most people, a high is a nice 2 or 3 hour experience. And I think we understand now that you get the highest moments after you take a rip, you take a big old dab, bong hit, whatever. Your high is going to ramp up, and then over the next couple of hours, it's going to slowly get lower and lower. We all know this. But there are some things that can just make your high fall off. It can drop your high completely. It can ruin your high, and you're no longer high. And while there's more than 5, I want to talk about 5 major things that ruin your high, and maybe if you're aware of them, you can avoid them. Now, the first one's hard to avoid, and it usually takes most people by surprise, but police. The cops. If you're high and you're chilling and you hear police sirens, sometimes that can be really sketchy. Now, I will say probably less and less people feel their high getting ruined from police sirens or seeing a police officer because there's more and more legalization. It doesn't quite affect me as much. Years ago, when I was first getting into smoking, I'd see a cop. I would just stop being high. Like, he'll know. He's gonna know. They trained him to look for stoners, and he's gonna find me. You hear those songs that just have a random police siren in it. You're like, oh my God. You turn the music down. You're like, all right, the cops are gone, bro. We're good. You turn it back up and you're like, they're here again. So part of that stems from paranoia. And like I said, less and less people are going to feel this. Probably in 20 years when stuff's more legal in every state, you probably won't hear too many people talking about how police sirens or cops ruin their high. But it's still common for a lot of stoners today. You see a cop and your high stops. Now, the next one I kind of have an interesting take on because I hear mixed things from a lot of people, but in my experience, food. Now, hear me out. It's not just food. It's either too much food or not enough food, all right? If having food simply doesn't really have too much of an effect for me, but if you get nice and high and you eat the biggest meal you've ever eaten, you might not be high anymore, or you might not be as high. But that also plays into the passing of time. Your high is falling off as time is passing. Takes a little bit to eat a huge meal, but getting really full for a lot of people can just stop them from being high. But also, on the opposite end of the spectrum, having no munchies, when you get high, sometimes your stomach is like, bro, I need anything, gummies and brownies, anything, bro. I need chips and french fries and nuggets and hamburgers. If you got nothing, bro, if you got absolutely nothing, no snacks when you're high, for me, like, the high just goes away. It's like, bro, hang on, where's the thing? I wanna eat the snacks, where are the snacks? And then I'm just, like, disappointed, and then I'm not high anymore. So I have heard a lot of people say eating too much stops their high, but I haven't heard a lot of people talk about how having no snacks or no munchies can definitely ruin your high. It does for me. The third one is probably the most obvious, and there's different situations with it, but the third thing that ruins your high is people. Now, it's not every person, it's not all people. Some people can make your high better. Some people, when you're high around them, it's a more enjoyable experience. You might even feel higher. But some people can just ruin it, bro. There's so many types of people that can ruin your high. It's usually people that aren't high with you, but sometimes it can be the people that are high with you. When I first got into smoking, this is when I realized there's not really a lot of difference in sativa and indica and stuff like that. You have a sesh with several people. We're all smoking the same thing. Some people are chilling. They're quiet. They're not really talking. Some people are chatty Cathys and they're just talking up a storm, bro. You're in that chill, mellow mood and I just want to hang out and not say much, and you're next to a chatty Cathy who's just going on and on about 26 things you don't care about. It's going to speed up your high. It's going to expedite it. It's going to be over quick. Bro, annoying people in general, people that you can't stand to be around. I mean, getting high can maybe take the edge off a little bit, but also they can take the edge off your high if they're annoying enough. One for me is complaining. If you're just around somebody and they're just complaining the whole time when you're high, it's like, I can't even enjoy myself now. What are we doing? Stop. And in general, along with people, it may be not always be a person who calls you, but phone calls kill my high. I don't ever want to answer the phone when I'm high. I've heard a lot of people say this. No matter if it's a 2-minute conversation, a 20-minute conversation, maybe it has something to do with the 5G or the Bluetooth, but when you answer the phone, I don't know what it is, but some kind of magic happens and it like diminishes your high. Another one that I've experienced is like shock, just being shocked in general. It can come in a few ways, but like you ever hear a car crash nearby or a really loud noise, it's like, what was that? There's certain things that could just like sober you up really quick. Loud noises, shocking events. If you've ever been handling one of your pieces, you're nice and high and you drop it and it breaks, like you're probably not high anymore. I know I wouldn't be. I've had that happen a few times. You go to repack the bowl, you grab the bowl, pull it out, the downstem comes with it and it just starts fumbling all over the place and it shatters. Yeah, buddy, I'm not high anymore and I'm a little pissed. For some people, it can just be getting caught when they weren't supposed to be smoking somewhere. I'm really high. Oh, now I'm in trouble. I'm not high anymore. Like sometimes getting busted right when you're getting high. This is probably more common for younger people, but just getting busted by like your parents or something is like, it's probably got to stop it right in its tracks. Now, this last one I've experienced, and please give me your feedback on this because it's a little bit newer. People haven't been quite doing this as much, but doom scrolling. I think I started hearing about this term a lot when TikTok was becoming popular, but now you can doom scroll on Instagram. They got the Reels, YouTube, they got Shorts. Every app has got some sort of little video that you can watch. And bruh, it's like a time machine when you get caught in the doom scroll. This might be what it is. It might be you just don't realize that you spent 3 hours looking at a bunch of 20-second videos and then your high is just gone. But I've heard so many people say just scrolling on TikTok or scrolling on Instagram Reels or something or looking at YouTube Shorts for too long just kills their high. And I think it's the time machine effect. I think you just teleport 3 hours into the future and you're just not high anymore. Anyway, I had a longer list of this, but I wanted to cut it off at 5. Let me know if I should make a part 2 or leave me some comments. What are some things that ruin your high? What did I forget? There's probably going to be a dozen comments that say showers. I don't know. Showers make me higher. What up? Have a lit day, my dudes. Come sesh with me on Twitch at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're getting high. Where are you at?